So I'm excited they're here. We have a hefty agenda as always, and we have special guests. And we're going to have first up our special guest, our student council members, and Miss Adams will introduce them.
Can everyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. I have the very special honor of introducing you all to our fifth grade student council representatives who are hard at work and have plenty to share with you all this evening on plenty of efforts that they're doing here at the elementary school. So, council, take it away.
Good evening, everyone. It is a true pleasure to be part of the council meeting this evening. My name is Leo Green.
My name is Gabriel Kozlowski.
My name is Mary Kate Martin. And my name is Sylvie Yogi.
We are all from Mrs. Figueroa's class. We are here to speak to you about student council happenings across the elementary school.
October's school theme was courage. Courage involves making good choices when you are faced with obstacles or you are feeling afraid. It could also mean being brave enough to stand up for something important to you.
Showing courage and being brave doesn't mean that you are never afraid. It means not letting your fear hold you back from trying new things, getting better at a new skill, or doing what is right. Classes brainstormed what their big three for courage would be as they thought about times that they had shown courage or how they could show courage. Let's take a look at a few classes' big threes on courage. Courage is bravery and strength to do something. Courage is telling yourself that you can do something. Courage is standing up for yourself and others. Courage is always telling the truth.
Courage is treating others with kindness, even if they are not treating you with kindness. Courage is believing in yourself. Courage is facing your fears. Courage is trying again.
This past month, the Student Council hosted the Logo Day contest that will go on all the publicity and t-shirts for the Bronxville Memorial Day celebration in 2024.
On the Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday mornings after Halloween, student council members were at the canopy with Miss Fosa collecting the Halloween sweets that students donated. All the candy donations were given to Westchester Food Pantry, and they were given to the people that are most in need. As in past years, we collected hundreds of pounds of Halloween candy. And this year we collected 1,002 libs of candy. New this year, the Sustainability Committee collected pumpkins that were composted. Thanks to everyone who donated candy and who dropped off their pumpkins. November's school theme is gratitude. Gratitude means to give thanks and appreciation. One way the Student Council would like our school to show gratitude and appreciation is to help make donations to our annual Feeding Westchester food drive.
We want to help hungry families in and around Westchester County. All people deserve to have the food they need to feed their families this holiday season, and the great news is you can.
Did you know Feeding Westchester served over 340,000 people in Westchester County? Feeding Westchester also served 71,000 children in need each month.
So here is how our school food drive will work. Beginning this Monday, November 6th, and throughout Friday, November 7th, you will be able to drop off non-perishable items to the canopy where Student Council representatives will be able to receive the donations. We can't wait to receive your donations. Any amount, even just one item, will be greatly appreciated and will make a difference. There are many families in need this Thanksgiving season, so we hope that you will donate. Thank you for allowing us to be a part of the council meeting.
Thank you, Student Council. I loved all of the adventures y'all been on with helping our community greater and just the encouragement of hearing about bravery and speaking up. We have an excellent fifth grade class. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Next up is always our fearless leader, Dr. Rachel Kelly.
I can't believe you have me follow them.
I know, right? We're just keeping you on your toes.
Clearly, you guys did an incredible job. Thank you for joining us this evening. It's so wonderful to see the Bronxville Promise in action and all the good work you do in and out of school. And I just want you to know you make us all very proud. And a nice segue for me is, as some of you are aware, we've had a Tri-States Consortium visit last Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. This is a consortium of like school districts throughout the tri-state area. And every 3 years we have visits. And the purpose of that visit is to get critical feedback from our colleagues on that which is important to us. So the name of this visit was the Bronxville Promise Enhanced. And we had the final consultancy on Friday where they give us some initial feedback. And it was really very validating, and I'll be able to summarize this for the full community in writing. They were so impressed, and I think mainly with our students and our faculty. They couldn't get over the initiatives that we undertake and how advanced we are in every area. And many visiting team members even commented that, you know, we love coming to Bronxville because then we can poach really good ideas. But we sit here these 3 days, and even though we can bring these wonderful activities and ideas back to our school districts, we're just not sure we have the faculty and the capacity to pull it off. So I think that says a tremendous amount of our team in Bronxville, from the students to the teachers to the parents. So thank you for that, for allowing us to be with your children every day for 7 hours a day. We just enjoy it so, and it was so nice to get such positive feedback from our colleagues around the tri-state area. We have a board meeting coming up next Thursday. You are all welcome. You can also view it on YouTube. We're very excited. As you know, I made a commitment this year to bring the Bronxville Promise to action. So parents get a much better idea of how those words on paper play out during the school day. And we're so excited to welcome some of our third graders to next week's board meeting to talk about their project-based learning project. So please tune in or join us in person. We're also starting to work on next year's budget already. As you know, the board had 2 workshops where we were talking about the many programs that make us distinctive and how important it is to us to make sure that we continue to have the resources to reinforce all of this work. And then I just want to end by saying how honored the school is to partner with the PTA on an offering on Monday, November 20th. Is that a Monday?
November 20th.
Thank you.
Monday, November 20th.
We're honored to partner with all of you for showing that we believe will be appropriate for 3rd through 8th graders with their parents. It means a lot to us that we can offer something for both students and their parents. And it's a documentary that HBO put out in 2018. And it's called The Number on My Great Grandpa's Arm. And it's just an age-appropriate, powerful 18-minute documentary teaching students and their families a little bit about the Holocaust. So we are eager to see as many of you as we can We're going to have a little facilitation afterward. We're going to break into 2 groups. So 3rd through 5th can be separate from 6th through 8th. And just some conversation and reaction afterward. And then we're also putting together some resources for parents specific to the Holocaust, but then also just in terms of how to engage our children in difficult conversations. So we look forward to seeing you. And I am available. You have my email, R. Kelly, no relation to the musician. And I'm at extension 1200. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Unfortunately, I do have another event tonight, so I'm not going to be able to stay for the remainder of the of this meeting, but don't interpret that as disinterest. So reach out if you have any questions. Good to see all of you.
Thank you, Dr. Kelly. We are very excited about this impactful documentary, and we appreciate the partnership. So I really do hope all of my elementary school friends, 3rd and up, will be there. I'll be in attendance with my twins, and I've personally seen the movie, and it's very moving, and it's a beautiful way to see our children come together as a community. So moving right along is Miss Adams.
Good evening, everyone. I intend to be a bit brief tonight as we have 2 speakers, or 3. We have Mrs. Claire Halaku, our kindergarten through 5th grade technology teacher, as well as Mr. David Denuzzo, our director of dining services, along with Mrs. Leotti, our school nutritionist. But just to go over briefly a few things, next week, thanks to our amazing book fair committee, we will have our annual book fair. Classes have signed up to visit throughout the week. This is always a delightful event. The book fair will be in the NPR as it has been in past years. Please feel free to stop by and pick up a book if you can. Another huge thanks to the Lecture Series Committee. Today we had a very special guest, children's book author, illustrator, and Newbery winner Jack Gantos was here, visiting students in grades 3 through 5. Jack put on a delightful writing workshop with students, sharing his writing process and encouraging students to use writing and illustration strategies such as drawing out and labeling maps of familiar places, and then finding an event to write deeper about, using action and feeling words associated with each place. It was remarkable to see. He was captivating, and I truly believe students walked away with many strategies and tools that they can use in their writing. Next week, the critically acclaimed children's book author and illustrator Nina Cruz will be visiting grades K through 2. Nina's books include The Neighborhood Mother Goose and Seeing into Tomorrow. We look forward to her visit as well. And of course, again, we thank the lecture series for these visits. And lastly, before we go on Thanksgiving break, Wednesday, November 22nd, we will have a 1:30 dismissal, and we'd like to use that day to practice out our emergency dismissal protocol. So parents will pick their students up from designated areas. The emergency dismissal protocol was shared way back a few weeks back. We'll reshare it with you all. Each grade has designated locations. Kindergarten picks up from their classrooms, 1st grade from the South Playroom, 2nd grade, the multi-purpose room, 3rd grade, the North Playroom, 4th grade, the high school, middle school cafeteria, and 5th grade in the main gym. You do not have to memorize this. I will share the protocol with you all the day of and the day before, and I'll give you some time to just have it. And that's all I have for this evening. I'd like to turn it over to Mrs. Halaku to present on our 5th grade, kindergarten through 5th grade technology curriculum.
Hi, everybody. I'm Claire Halaku. As Ms. Adams mentioned, I teach all grades, kindergarten through 5th grade technology. And I'm here today to just give you a brief overview of what we do in the grades and a little snippet of some of the activities that we do, so you can get a better understanding of what happens in those classes, especially since I know technology class has changed a lot since you and I were in technology class. So this is our curriculum map for K-5. It's available on the website too, so you can don't expect you to memorize it. You're welcome to take a look there anytime you want. And Ms. Adams is also going to put into the chat a link. I wrote a infographic for each grade that gives you some information on all the different units. So if your child is in kindergarten, you can open up the kindergarten one and you'll see the different units we do. And I give a little bit more of an example and explanation of each of those units, because right now I'm just going to do a brief example from each of those. So if you noticed at the beginning of the syllabus for each grade, I start off the year talking about digital skills. So in K-2, we have iPads and K-1 iPads, and 2 and up is Chromebooks. So at the beginning of the year, we go over a lot of digital citizenship, how to appropriately use those devices, and also how to use tools that they'll be using throughout the year. I introduce these skills, but then they're followed up with a lot in the classroom. So a lot of my time is also spent with teachers, helping them figure out how to support students as they use, let's say, Google Docs to publish their writing, or Google Slides to do presentations. So even though they get a little bit of a snippet with me of how to use these products, they use them a lot more with the teachers. And so they have some support there as well. When for the rest of the year, we focus on coding. So the goal is that every grade gets some experience with each of these types of approaches for coding. One, with hands-on experiences, so moving around the classroom, actually lifting things up and moving their body. And then 2 is applying skills to code. So that usually looks more like an app or a program on the Chromebook where they're moving blocks or line-based code in order to code. And then the 3rd one is robotics. So each grade has a robot, or at least 1, sometimes 2 robots that they use throughout the year. And they have a chance to apply the same skills with each of these types of applications. So for example, this is a kindergarten example of algorithms. So they're doing the same thing in each of these activities, but at different times in the year. So on the left side, I have maps that are out on the floor. One student will be a maze maker, so they'll make a maze with those 5 maps, and then the other student will be the robot. The maze maker will guide the robot through the maze by telling them which directions to go. This is also a great way for them to practice cross-curricular skills like directions and chronological order. And then later in the year, they'll do the similar activity with Cubetto. So this robot here is the Cubetto. They can code it using different colors to do different things like turn or go straight. And this little green mat there is a story that they're making. So they have different pictures, and one person will make a story and tell the story, and then the other person will code the robot to follow the maze through that story. And then they'll trade positions. So they're getting a chance to work in partnerships a lot, but also making sure that they get a chance to do the coding as well. So in 1st grade, here are some activities that we do here. Another skill that we do all K through 5 is learning about loops. So in the top one, they're doing a loop activity where they're creating a dance. So one of the cards has how many times they have to loop or repeat the sequence. And then the other cards has the sequence that they have to do. So sometimes it'll be legs out, hands up, spin, and whatever the sequence is, they then have to loop it however many times the card says. They work together to make sure that they're following the sequence at the same time and looping the correct amount of times, and then they pull up the next cards. At the bottom, there are 2 examples of sequence, just like I showed in kindergarten, but with different types of activities. So on the right side, you see a marble run. The student here has directions, and they're not showing the direction card to the partner, but they're giving specific directions for the partner to follow. And the partner has to place the pieces in the correct location in order to get the marble into the end piece. And then on the left side, that's a monster map where they have arrows, a starting monster, and then arrows, and they have to find the monster that they land on. So a lot of different activities to practice similar skills. Then here in second grade, on the left side, we actually come back to Cubetos for a social studies unit. So in this, this is the end of unit project for a social studies unit called Urban, Suburban, and Rural. So they learn about different types of communities, and then they choose one of those communities, each group, and they create a map that would correspond with that community. Then they create a day in the life of a community member, and they give clues for the other groups to follow in order to follow that day in the life. So all the other groups rotate through, and they get a chance to see the maps from the other groups and code the Cubeto to travel along that day in the life. And then on the right side, students are currently doing a animate your name project. So on the first day, they animate just the first letter of their name by making it with their body. And then here are just some examples of what that looks like. In Scratch, they can make letters turn or get bigger or change color, depending on what they'd like to do. So here in second grade, we start with block-based coding in Scratch. And then in third grade, we continue with some more block-based coding. We start with creating a game in Scratch, and then they use what they learned in that to apply it to these products, which you see on the floor. They're called unruly splats. So the splats can turn colors, make music, have a counter for score, and they watch second graders play the game. Then they come up with their own game. Then they code the game using the unruly splats. Some students will start with some code that's already been there, and then they change it. Others will start from scratch. And then they teach the second graders the games. So they get a chance to not only create the game, but see it in action. And we make sure to talk about that it's a beta version. So we end up having a lot of mistakes along the way, but it's a really good learning experience, and the kids have a lot of fun with it. And they now remember it from second grade as they do it as third graders. So that also increases engagement too. And here's an example project from fourth grade. So here they make a create your own adventure story at the beginning of the year using Scratch again. And here is an example of it. I'll play as I talk. They have to code characters to interact with each other, but also to interact with the user. So the user enters an answer, and then depending on the answer that the user enters, it goes to a different trajectory. So just like those old school create your own adventure books, they apply that to a coding project. And then in fifth grade, we move to line-based code. So we start a little bit of line-based code at the end of fourth grade, and in fifth grade, we really commit to it. With that, the coding becomes more complicated. So we do look for more, we start with more simple tasks like sequence. Here we have a function activity that we did today. On the left side, the code does the same thing as the code on the right side, but with functions. So they look at the code, they discuss which one they think is better. We discuss what it does, and then we discuss the purpose of functions, and then they get a chance to code in Swift Playgrounds, where they apply functions and get to solve puzzles. So that's just a little snippet into it. Please feel free to take a look at those infographics to get a better sense of all of the projects that we do in your grade. And I'm not sure if we have time for questions, but my email's there. So you're welcome to reach out to me or write something into the chat as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, we just have one more presenter, Mr. Denuzzo, speaking about our dining services program.
All right. How is everybody doing this evening? I appreciate the PTA for having myself and Mrs. Leotti here. I'm David Denuzzo. I'm the Director of Dining and Nutrition Services for the school district. I have recognized a lot of the names. I'm hoping to put a face to my name, right? I often hear from a lot of you during the weeks and the months since school started. I felt it was important to put a face to the name. So just going to be brief this evening. I know we've had a lot of presenters and it's getting late. So we'll just get an overview of what we do, what we provide, and if there are any questions, I'd be happy to take them. I'd love to come back and do maybe something a little bit more in detail. And I'm sure Susan and I, as well as Ricky and Anthony, can go ahead and facilitate that. So without further ado, introduce Nicole Leotti, who's our regional dietitian. Nicole, you on here?
Yes. Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me.
All right. So we're serving now grades 1 through 5. We added our first grade this year. It's our first time doing first grade, certainly in my tenure as the dining services director here in Bronxville. It has gone about as smoothly as it possibly can. Great, big shout out to the administration, the teachers, and of course the students. They have been able to pick up the lunch process, the parents as well for our pre-ordering process, which we'll get into. So that's been great. Received a lot of positive feedback as far as, our fresh pre-packaging meals on a daily basis. It makes it extremely easy for the elementary school students to just grab, get it back to their tables with their friends, and really maximize the time that they have with lunch. Just an overview real quick on Compass Group standards. We are a third-party vendor, but I can tell you, having worked for some of our competition in my early years in food and especially K through 12 environment, Compass Group has some pretty tough standards. For even to become a vendor for Compass Group, you have to go through so many hurdles. So you should feel comfortable with what we offer our children. Obviously, every unit is unique. I certainly am confident at our school in our school district, Bronxville, I will put against any public school in the country. Most people that I know actually ask if we are a private school, just because of our offerings, our options, and we're always striving to get better. And I'm very proud of what we do. We do source local whenever possible. We're very fortunate to have a lot of local partners and vendors, United Natural Foods, Gargiulo Produce. We bring fresh produce in probably 3 to 5 times a week, depending on menu items and how quickly obviously are running through product. That is a huge advantage for us, and it's obviously comforting knowing that it is coming from local sources and local farms. A lot of this also ties into some of our curriculum, which we're very, very big with. We're very on board with with the curriculum here. We try to get involved as much as we possibly can from a food service standpoint. Recently, we had, I believe it was 3rd and 4th graders come in and ask a bunch of questions to myself and my team in regards to how the operation works. It is our pre-ordering app. I'll just give a brief overview. I'm sure almost everybody on here has seen it probably thousands of times at this point, but we always like to refresh and make sure that you are aware of the steps and kind of give you an overview and maybe a little bit in detail on how it works. Nicole?
Right. So if you aren't familiar with NutriSlice, it is the online pre-ordering. You can view the menus on there as well. can use the QR code to either create an account or just look at the menus. You're able to place orders up to 5 days ahead of time for elementary orders and up until 9 a.m. the day of service. When you create an account, it will require you to add any allergies into a specific field if any allergies are present. And this needs to be manually updated by the person who creates the account. It doesn't automatically sync with what the nurse has on file. The allergens are also always listed on the menu for what is contained in our food. So you could see some of the allergens on the screen. If our food contained egg, the egg would pop up on the menu for that item. It only is for the top 9 allergens that would pop up. So you can always see the allergens on the menu before ordering to help prevent any allergy issues. All right, so in addition to serving great food, we also have a few different programs, like a food discovery nutrition events that we do. As a dietitian, I love this because it brings some nutrition education and ties it into the food that we serve. So one of the programs that we have implemented is called Discovery Kitchens. We've done this a lot last year, and we're actually doing one soon coming up in November for the elementary students. It really is food tasting samples that we do make in-house. We tie it into a theme every month related to some kind of nutrition theme. And we have activities and sheets for the kids to take. You could see in the picture, one of the demos we did last year in March was a quinoa cranberry spinach salad. The theme that month was plant power. So we were really emphasizing sources of plant-based proteins. So not always does your protein need to come from animal, but quinoa could be a source too. And they really enjoyed that, actually. They were very adventurous in trying new foods, and we love that. Another program is called Mood Boost that we will be trying soon to implement. And this really focuses on trying new fruits and vegetables, whether it's serving it in our food or doing samplings in the cafeteria. We're going to tie it into how it can benefit their health and mood. So there's a few different moodies, we call them. The little red guy on the screen is our strong moodie. So if we would have a certain food being served, we would say this food has this nutrient and it helps keep us strong in this way. There are other moodies that are related to being calm, confident, or smart, or alert, really just getting them used to trying new fruits and vegetables and how it can benefit their health. And the next page has just more pictures from some of our Discovery Kitchen events.
Mr. Vaglica he was very, very excited to try our Discovery Kitchen that day. So you can see we set up a whole display. It's actually in the NPR where we serve the lunches. It's a lot of fun. The display really draws the kids in. Obviously, it just gauges that, oh my God, what's going on, and they're they're really open to trying things. I will say, Nicole hit it right on the head. We were extremely taken back by the participation for the quinoa and spinach with the cranberry. The palates of these young students are they're very, very mature for their age. So that's a lot of fun. We love doing these things. It's educational, it's fun, and it tastes good. We do a lot of scratch cooking. Our chef is wonderful. And it's a good time. It's as you can see, Mr. Vaglica.
Thank you so much. Oh, sorry.
I just have one more. I'm sorry. Resource.
That's okay. Tight budget.
For everybody out here, there is really one-stop shopping for our dining program, and it's located right on the Bronxville School webpage. Under cafeteria, you can find everything from our nutrition newsletters to our menus to links. It's like I said, it is really one-stop shopping. Obviously, I am always available. My extension is 1206. My email is djanuzzo@bronxvilleschool.org. You can always leave a message or shoot me an email. I know most on here do. I try very hard to get back to you in a as quickly as I possibly can, but as you can imagine, it does get a little busy on a daily basis. for the entire district. But never hesitate to reach out. And, Nicole is extremely receptive as well. And that's it. We greatly appreciate your time, and we look forward to, maybe stopping by again.
Thank you so much for coming on and reminding us of all the great nutrition our children are getting. So we appreciate it. And Claire, thank you so much for the technology presentation. It's good for us to all know exactly what's going on in the classroom, and it's amazing. It really helps remind parents how lucky we are. Okay, well, clearly there's a third component to the Bronxville School, and it's the Bronxville School Foundation. And we couldn't do a lot of things without them. So we have the president, Katie Shaw, on. Thank you, Katie.
Thank you, Susan. Hi, everyone. My name is Katie Shaw, and I just will share a few brief words from the foundation. As many of you know, through a grants program, the foundation enhances the educational experience for all Bronxville students K to 12. To date, the foundation has raised over $12 million and has awarded more than 800 individual grants to fund projects that are above and beyond our annual school budget. Our annual campaign materials were just mailed and emailed within the last few weeks, so please be sure to look out for those. And if you're a new family, we would love to have you consider donating for the first time. And if you're a existing donor, we would love for you to take the opportunity to send in your donation now. Our goal is to reach 100% of school families, so thank you. The gifts are starting to come in, and we are truly so grateful for all of your support. We have a special event coming up over Thanksgiving weekend. It's our largest fundraiser of the year. It's the Katie Welling Memorial 2.5-mile run walk. The starting line is right in front of the flagpole on Saturday, November 25th at 9 a.m. You can register on the Bronxville Foundation website. And if you're out of town that weekend, you can also participate virtually. So thanks so much again for all of your support. We appreciate it.
Thank you for your support. My goodness, $12 million. We are beyond lucky. I got my email, and that was a great reminder. So thank you for the reminders. It's exciting to know we can run in person, or if we happen to be away with our families. Okay, well, everyone, thank you. I'm gonna just move quickly to our committees. I will definitely say there's no place busier than the elementary school. I mean, I was in the school today. I got to see Jack Gantos, and the children were totally engaged. And this was a writing workshop, and you'll hear about that from Amy Howard in a minute. But I just wanted to say it feels like every day there's a partnership going on, and it's really exciting to see everyone flourish. So first up is Lindsay Johnson with Basque.
Hi. So we are in the middle of the fall session. We had record enrollment for this fall. Winter registration is scheduled for January 10th and 11th, so after break. And there will be a gap in between the fall and the winter to account for time for the elementary school play this year. Let's see. Before I forget, lunchtime chess starts next week. Also goes once a week through April. So if you haven't registered and you want to, there's still time. And then kind of the big reveal. This year's elementary school play/musical is going to be Hercules. It's going to be an adaptation of the Disney movie Hercules. It's open to 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders. There will be 2 casts of roughly 75 students each. Registration will be the Monday after Thanksgiving when we get back. And there will be an email going out shortly to the 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade groups of parents with more information in terms of when the practices are, how the auditions work. The auditions are for 5th grade. And then the 3rd and 4th are more of a first come, first serve, but the larger roles go to the 5th graders. So that's exciting. It is being sort of overseen by Basque this year and Miss Sheehan, one of our amazing teachers. So we're super excited.
That's amazing. Well, we're excited to see another great production. Thank you. And in the agenda, if people want to hear more about chess, you can just hit on the link. So next up are our amazing Amy's. Amy Savali and Amy Howard about the book fair that starts Tuesday, November 14th.
Hi, everyone. We are very excited to get our book fair up and running. We've been doing a lot behind the scenes. First and foremost, I want to thank all the families for donating to your classroom libraries, because the teachers are really going to get some wonderful, wonderful books this year. So we cannot thank you enough. We've tried to make it seamless this year. So hopefully that has worked out nicely. Our book fair has launched online. So you have had class parent emails, and our principal newsletter has included the website, and it will again this Friday. And we will also send you class parent emails reminding you right before your book fair sign up date for your class. But online is available if grandparents want to shop. If you want to shop, you can have it delivered anywhere. If you want it delivered to the school, to your house. Our Main Street Book Fair website is for Bronxville. So proceeds will benefit the PTA, and that will go right back into all of our programs. We will start next week on Tuesday for students to come and shop by class. Parents, caregivers are really encouraged to come and join them. We have some wonderful books that will be out there. And then we have included an early morning shopping this year on Wednesday morning and Thursday morning. So the 15th and the 16th, for anybody who can't make it during the day. If you'd like to stop by, we'll be there 7:45 in the morning until about 8:30 when the kids are going to get rolling. And then last but not least, we need some volunteers. So I will post the Sign Up Genius in the chat. That's also gone around through class parents, and it will go out in the Friday newsletter as well. So if you'd like to come, it's a really easy volunteer job. It's pretty fun. You get to hang out with everybody, talk to some teachers, and see the cute kids. So we'd love to have you. Thanks for all your support.
Thanks, Amy. We're excited. Okay, next up, this is Be Well. They just want to remind us of a few amazing events coming up. Is Elizabeth or Rachel on? I think I saw Rachel.
Rachel. Yeah. Hi. So we just want to remind you of a couple events coming up. Next week, we have Jennifer Wallace doing a virtual conversation with us. She wrote an amazing book. She's a journalist, and she wrote a book, Never Enough: When Achievement Culture Becomes Toxic and What We Can Do About It. I've yet to read the book, but I listened to her on a podcast, and she's really done so much research on achievement culture and sort of the pitfalls and problems. And it's definitely something I think we see in this town, but it's not all bad news, because she talks about what we can do about it. And this idea of mattering is her big thing that she talks about. And it's really sort of powerful. And I learned something just from like a few minutes of a podcast. So we're really excited about her talk. And then another thing we have coming up that's being organized by one of our members is a kindness coffee. We're talking about ideas of kindness and belonging, and also sort of piggybacking on some kind of like recent events, just to kind of think about sort of, anti-Semitism, intolerance. There's like a sort of a lot of overlap there, a lot of things that we can explore. And we're hosting that with the BOLD and DEI committees. And then we have a couple other things sort of in the works, but those are the two main things that we're getting excited about. That's it.
Thank you. You'll have some great programs coming up, so we are appreciative. Okay, next up is Character and Community. Olivia, I just saw her. They've had some really amazing kindness of acts for sure.
Hi, Olivia Sharundalo. Sorry, my name doesn't show up on the Zoom. So I the Council, Character and Community Committee. I co-chair that with Kristen Howard, who couldn't be on. And the purpose of the committee is to expose and directly involve elementary school students in community service. So as the Student Council mentioned, last week we had a very successful Halloween candy drive. We collected over 1,000 pounds of candy, most of which went to Feeding Westchester, some of which went to high school students who are packaging them up to be sent to our troops. Special thanks and shout out to Miss Fosak, our longstanding art teacher, who's been running this drive for many years. And we want to thank parents who volunteered their time, all the families who donated, all this candy, as well as the Student Council for making this happen. The other thing that we did, which was 2 weeks ago, was a game day with Gramerton Village. Gramerton Village is a senior center in Bronxville Village. We brought 11 elementary school students after school to the center to play games with the seniors at the village. And, they played bingo, cards, board games. The kids seemed to have a lot of fun. The feedback from Grammaton was very positive. They actually would like us to host two more game days. So we're going to plan one for January as well as one for April. This was an event that was filled up very quickly in terms of the student signups. It actually filled up within 10 minutes with a waiting list. So we will, for the future events, we will give priority to those who were waitlisted. There is limited seating at Grammaton right now. So there is probably can only accommodate about 11 students in total. And then just as a very short 10-second testimonial, I have my daughter here who attended game day, so she wanted to say a few words. Yeah.
I liked game day because it was really fun and I got to meet new people. And the games were fun too because it was like one of my favorite board games.
There you go.
At bingo.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you so much. I saw the pictures of game day and you could tell everybody was enjoying themselves, young and old. Amazing, 1,000 pounds of candy. Woo, that is more than last year. I think last year was 800. So thank you for that. Okay, we've got Amy Howard back up for our lecture series, which we are busy in the building.
We are busy. It's been a busy November. So today we welcome Jack Antos, which Rakia just spoke about. He was excellent. The kids were really inspired and engaged, and it was a wonderful presentation. So if your kids are spying on you, writing down conversations, doing maps of your house, it is fully all for the process of writing some good stories. So it was wonderful to have him today. He's a really accomplished author. He has great chapter books and picture books out there. So we encourage the kids to go to the library and pick up some of his works. Next week on Monday, we have a kindergarten to second grade program with Nina Cruz. She is an author and illustrator. The really cool thing about her is that she does something called photo collaging. So her books, she will illustrate for other authors, but she writes and illustrates for herself. So she has several really cool books out there. So I have a feeling the kids are going to have a really wonderful experience on Monday. All of our programs are accompanied by class sets of books for our teachers. So prior to a author illustrator visit, they get a little bundle of books that they can have in their classroom, share with kids before and after. And it creates a really nice experience to just enrich the curriculum. So we will be doing more in the winter and the spring, but that is what we are up to right now.
Thank you for that. Yes, please go home and ask your 3rd through 5th graders about Jack. He was phenomenal. And then on Monday, you're the K through 2nd parents can ask about Nina. Also, there's hyperlinks in the agenda, and you can just click on and you can read about all of these different aspects that are going on in the PTA. Okay, I'm going to just skip over Memorial Day for 1 minute and have Kaylin talk about sustainability.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kaylin Strickland. I'm co-chair of the Elementary Sustainability Club, and we are a newer committee, and so we are have been brainstorming different new ideas and are always open to any ideas if anyone else has any. But so we did our first pumpkin composting drive alongside Character and Community. And I also want to give a shout out to Miss Fosak. She was so great, and she had her kids make signs for us. And I'll keep it super quick. We just wanted to thank everyone who participated. We got 100 pumpkins for composting, and that had about 50 to 60 families who participated. And that was really exciting for the first year. And we wanted to just remind people, if they weren't ready to part with their pumpkins, I wasn't with a few of mine, you can still just take them behind Village Hall. Super easy. You can drive up, drop them off. No need to put in a compostable bag or anything. You can just put them in and they will be put to a better use versus your trash. So thank you to everyone who brought pumpkins.
Thank you. It's amazing. That was the first time y'all did it. And that's a lot of pumpkins to collect first go around. Okay, I'm going to read Memorial Day. Shelley Closo organizes that. And then after that, I'll read about the Teacher Appreciation Day. If you click on the link, you can see the winner and the artwork that the winner did for the contest. So for Memorial Day, we'd like to share an update from the Memorial Day logo contest committee. In the spirit of Election Day each year, our elementary school students have the opportunity to participate in the voting process by casting a vote for a logo design that will be used in the school-wide county fair held over Memorial Day weekend. This year, we were thrilled to receive over 100 amazing logo designs from our talented elementary school students. The committee chair this year, Shelley Closa, narrowed down the selection to the top 10, and the elementary school student council were tasked to pare it down to 3 finalists for the school-wide vote. Yesterday, during the school, our students had the unique opportunity to participate in a school-wide vote to select the winning design. We are excited to announce that 5th grader Tristan, and if I pronounce the name wrong, please correct me, Saltner, created the winning submission. And it's linked to the agenda so you can see it. As a token of our appreciation, Tristan will receive 2 complimentary tickets to next year's country fair taking place on Memorial Day. Additionally, Tristan winning design will be used throughout the year to promote the event. We'd also like to congratulate our other top 3 finalists, Lila Wall and Blake Lander. We wanted to extend our special thanks to Miss Englehart, who coordinated all the logistics at school to facilitate the student vote. We also appreciate the efforts of the Elementary School Student Council for narrowing down the top 10 submissions to the final 3. Congratulations to all our talented artists, and we're already looking forward to next year's logo contest. So that's exciting, and please go and look at Tristan's artwork. It's really beautiful. Just click on that link. And then last week, the PTA gave an appreciation lunch to all of our teachers. The Teacher Appreciation Committee would like to thank all the families who contributed so generously to sponsor teachers and staff at our fall luncheon. We were able to serve delicious Greek food catered by a local restaurant. It was a beautiful day. They had tables out on the front lawn where teachers and staff could enjoy catching up with one another. Now we're getting ready to host a gathering in December that serves as the one event where teachers and staff across the whole school come together to celebrate the holidays. And the committee, the Teacher Appreciation Committee, remains grateful. We are under the wire at 7:57. I like to try to get in under an hour. I want to thank everyone for coming. I just want to highlight just one more time the 2 events, Jennifer Wallace that comes next week, Never Enough. I think it's great for us parents always to be reminded. And then, of course, on Monday, November 11th, the numbers on my great-grandpa's arm. I think it's a great way for our children to see us come together as a community. And I look forward to seeing you there that night. I'll be there in attendance to all of it. Thank you. Our next meeting is in January. Happy everything, and have a great evening.